Hello and welcome back to another Understand Your Buy video. In this video, we're looking at the consequence effect. So what is it? The consequence effect is all about reminding your buyers that their actions and choices have consequences. How does it work? Well, it works because many of us make poor choices as the consequences are simply hidden from us. We don't realize the consequence of many of our actions. Bringing the consequences to the front of a buyer's mind changes their perception and understanding of their actions. If you had to sign something to say you agreed to put on weight every time you drink a can of Coke or eat a chocolate bar, you'd think twice, right? But without that being brought to your attention, you happily go on doing the various things that you do without a thought for the consequences. So how can you use it? Well, when speaking with buyers, you need to remind them that their actions have consequences. From cheaper alternatives to lesser alternatives to delaying or taking no action, consequences will await. In particular, a client might choose to do something for themselves, but there's a couple of potential consequences there. Firstly, will it take longer? Doing something yourself will almost always take longer than using a professional. That's why the professionals are in business. Doing it yourself also means you might not have the skills and resources you need. There's a great saying that you either hire a professional or you become one, which best describes this consequence. A buyer decides to do something themselves, but now has to spend time and money learning things or acquiring the tools and resources they need to carry out the task. A cheaper alternative might not meet their needs. Many cheaper alternatives aren't actually fit for purpose and they won't actually meet the needs of the buyer, but the lower price point can blind a buyer into making the purchase and they only find out after the event. With cheaper alternatives, also, you might need to buy other things. Many cheaper alternatives need additional purchases or resources to actually meet the needs of the buyer. If you fly BA, you pay one price for your flight. If you fly with a budget carrier, you do pay less, but food, baggage, and a host of other things are add-on charges, which means the cheaper flight isn't the same thing, but cheaper. It's a less effective alternative. It's not apples with apples. So the consequence effect is simply all about making your buyer aware of the consequences of their actions. If they don't take action, or if they buy a cheaper alternative, or if they do it themselves, what's going to happen for them and are they okay with that? Oftentimes you bringing the consequences to the fore and making them aware of what could happen is all that they need to engage with you and convert to buy. Well, that's it for another Understand Your Buyer video, and if you like this kind of stuff, then you'll definitely like the book, which you can buy at understandyourbuyer.com.